When you go on NoFap slash semen retention, you don't flirt. Your aura, your semen retention aura does it for you. Because the thing is, when you go on semen retention, NoFap, the thing is, you have aura about you. The thing is, it's like you're retaining, you're reframing, and everything like that. And eventually, it gets to the point where you literally are seeking, are like literally signaling to the world that you basically are fertile. Like you're literally seeking attraction. And usually, what that tends to happen is you start to attract more women by default, based off just who you become on how you act on NoFap slash retention, stuff like that. So the thing is, you don't necessarily have to do like pickup lines. You don't necessarily even have to like your who you are pretty much does the talking for you, if this makes sense. The person that you literally become on NoFap slash retention is literally what actually becomes more attractive. All this other stuff about scripts, all this other stuff, that's for people who, they're just for coomers. They're just people who are dull on the inside. They're dull on the inside, so they have to like always use some extra thing outside of them to try to make themselves attractive. But when you go on NoFap slash retention, you're finally gonna have this aura about you that's attractive to women by default because of its simple woman and man dynamics. Women, if we're talking about from like prehistoric times, women usually seek after the best guy to, I guess, reproduce with in terms of like genes, alpha characteristics, and stuff like that. The person who has the most leadership qualities, and usually this is the type of person you're literally going to become when you go on NoFap and retention. It's biology. It's biology. You have to realize this. The more you retain, the more you're going to become alpha. You're going to have this deeper masculine voice. You're going to transmute your energy into your purpose, which women find attractive. You're going to feel things on a more of a conscious level. Your energy is heightened. You have a sharp, heightened aura about you. And now everything that you do is gonna command some sort of respect, just because it's like you're in the present moment. It really comes down to just being in the present moment. When you're in the present moment, everything that you do it just hits home. A lot of guys always complain. They say like, oh, there's no vibe. There's no vibe. Girls are complaining that there's no vibe between the guy. And the thing is, it's because you're dry. You have to learn what banter is. Content free conversation. You have to be able to play around with her, call her some names, give her do this push and pull, give her challenges, stuff like that. Get to the point where you're pretty much just playing with her on a subconscious level. You're not taking yourself too seriously, but you also have this masculine aura about you that's super authoritative in a sense. You have direction. You're a leadership quality. You have leadership qualities. This is really what it comes down to. It's just demonstrating leadership quality based off how you act, what you ask her, and stuff like that. It really isn't. It's really just becoming like literally when you go on NoFap and retention. This is where I don't understand people who have maybe troubles with women and stuff like that, and then they're literally combating things like NoFap and retention. They're like literally criticizing it. It's like, bro, you're not really doing well in that department. So anything that you can do to help yourself, it's something that you should help yourself. Their people are too comfortable in their measure. They're too comfortable in their mediocrity. So they don't even want to try something new because they just don't understand it. This is what I'm pretty much speaking about. So you go on NoFap, you go on retention, and eventually like you don't really have to like personally like do the most when it comes to fun. Those guys who are always like doing the most in terms of just like they're just super extroverted and they're just always like doing the most and stuff like that. That may work, and it may not also work. The thing is, sometimes you just kind of have to realize that if you are super comfortable with who you are, you don't necessarily have to go out your way to like impress her. Women can literally find you attractive just because you're a guy. That's literally how it is. The more of a guy you are, the more more likely they're probably gonna find you attractive. Now the thing is, if you're like sitting around doing nothing, literally just wasting time, you're fapping regularly and stuff like that, you literally that thing that's supposed to help you literally become more of a man, it's literally destroyed. And now this is where doubt comes in. This is where overthinking comes in. This is where fear comes in. This is where paranoia comes in. All of these different things. This is where you tolerate disrespect because you don't have that edge about you. You know? So this is pretty much what it comes down to. You know, you're gonna go on NoFap. You're gonna go on attention. This masculine energy that you have is it's going to speak for itself. And the thing is, even if she does reject you, even if you're on retention or something, she does respect you. You know, at least you're still a man. That's the thing. You can take all these different things, but at least your dignity is still intact. It doesn't necessarily even matter, you know, what she really thinks, to be honest. It's just like you just got to be you. You got to be the most authentic version of yourself, I believe. And that's pretty much how you're going to get what you want from her, honestly. Physical appearance is important and everything like that, but really it just comes to just like relatability. Like, you know, how comfortable are you with yourself? The more comfortable you are with yourself, the more other people are going to probably be more comfortable around you too. So this, we really have to, you know, you kind of have to look, this is how you have to look at it. It's going to do well for you, because all these guys talk about these different things, these different things on how do I get women, all this stuff like that. It's just like, you just got to be more of yourself. And the thing is, this advice is nuanced, because if you are more of yourself, but the thing is, the core of you, who you are, is like someone of that, of a, just someone who's just like, is like someone who maybe their interests are not really that interesting to, let's say, women. If that is the case, and what I mean by this is like some dude who's just like, who, for example, they're just all about, like, say, like video games. That's, if your video game is like your entire personality, and me telling you to be more of yourself, you're gonna say, "Oh, he told me to be more of myself," but I'm still not getting the woman I'm talking about. I mean, when I say these, I mean it more in a more masculine way. Like, you're doing things that, you know, just men would do. Maybe, for example, when I do this, I'm talking about like purpose, like actual purpose stuff, like things that hit home, not some like comfortable stuff, not some comfort stuff. I'm talking about like your actual like purpose, your God-given purpose, your driven purpose. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about masculinity in itself, your mission, stuff like that. Not just things that anybody can do and it's easy. I'm talking about like real stuff that really makes you, your purpose or anything like that. She's gonna find that attractive. You're also able, a lot of guys don't talk about this, is like how you're able to speak to her. The thing is, you have to be able to have this balance between masculinity, like this masculine core type of dude you are, and also be able to, you know, just play around with her and, like, you know, call her names and, you know, just play around with her. This balance is literally what separates you from the pack. You know, if you're too serious all the time, she may not be able to relate with you as much. But if you're joking around too much, she just thinks that you're just a comedian. She's not really going to tell you seriously. Another thing is, a lot of the things that the girls say necessarily, it really honestly doesn't really matter, to be honest, because what I see with my two eyes, that if you literally are just like, if she is head over heels for you, she's head over heels for you. Like, all the other stuff about like these rules that she gives them literally just gets thrown out the window. If she's that attracted to you, she has to be super attracted to you, to be honest. And for example, there's this couple that I just looked at, that I realized that I heard about recently, and the dude, they met like literally within less than a month after they met, they literally got married. And the thing is, the guy proposed over FaceTime. The guy proposed over. See, you know, girls are gonna tell you like, oh, you know, it needs to be very thought out and stuff like that. And obviously, this isn't the case for everybody. And honestly, but the thing is, it's like it's just an example of, if she's that attracted to you, she's literally gonna say yes. You know. But this is like supreme attraction. Like, she has to be head over heels. And but the thing is, how does she become more attracted to you? The more you become like your core version of yourself, your true version of yourself, like this bold version of yourself, more probably she's going to be more attracted to you. You know, this is literally how you have to look at it. The more you're on this edge, you know, you have this thing in you that, you know, this masculine edge about you. She's probably gonna be more attracted to you. It's literally what it is, you know. You gotta separate yourself, you know. You gotta be intentional. You gotta think things out. Another thing is like, you gotta be thoughtful. Like, what I also realize is like, a lot of women, they're super aesthetic, you know. So a lot of based off how they look, and then just like the things that they do, it comes across as aesthetic. You gotta put some thought into certain things that you do as well too. Another thing that I realize is that if you're a dude who has who's conscious and like meditates, and it has is wisdom. Like, you have wisdom and stuff. A lot of women are attracted to like a guys with wisdom. So just become wise. Just stop being like, basically, don't be like that. Like, literally, you got to be different. Like, if you're just for example, if you're just like a frat dude who's just like, partying and stuff like that, maybe there are some girls who are attracted to the frat kind of dude. But I'm talking about being your most authentic version. That's what I'm really talking about. Just being something that makes you really you. Something that separates yourself. Think about it thoroughly. She's probably going to be more attracted to you because you have purpose. You're present with her. And you know how to do the back and forth banter that I'm talking about. With that being said, check out. I'll check the link in the description down below. We help guys basically with self mastering confidence, in the link in the description below. We'll see you in the